Okay, so we got the controller that plugs into the wall, steps down to 12 volt, goes to the pump. We have a little adapter that allows you to hook up the wires. And so then we got the pump that comes out of that has the 12 volt wires on it. So these wires go in this connector. Of course, you can just hook this pump right up to a 12 volt battery with your little alligator clips. Maybe use a valve to slow it down, speed it up. But this allows you to, instead of using a valve to pinch it and still running at the your full amps of your battery and draining it faster at a lower speed, this allows you to control the speed and conserve on, and of course you're plugged into the wall, so you don't have to worry about a battery going dead. All right, so we just want to go over this because we want to put this video out there for those first time users. And it is in no way a slam to anybody feeling like you're technologically, or have electrical experience. Thank goodness. Sometimes the wires are just the right length where they'll work right without trimming them. Let's see if they'll do that for us on this quick video. We have a positive and a negative sign on here. They gotta be hooked up properly, or else what happens is the pump and the controller are saying, what the heck is going on? And then it heats up, it fries, and it's a bummer. And then you're not sluicing no more. Positive, red, goes in the positive hole. Here's a little Phillips screwdriver. I have my toolbox. It's not even a specialty one, it's just out of my kit. We get that guy slipped in there. Now what is I have done? All right, so now I gotta admit fault. I gotta bring myself down to the level of not being perfect, because I'm not. I have frayed the wires on these, like with I've cut them with my knife, done the whole make the wire longer, strip it off, frayed it, and I've had the wires from the negative and the positive touch and melted the connector. So there it is, guys, I've melted a connector. Now, also, I noticed when that connector melted, my little controller was super hot because it was like figuring out what's going on. We're sending power and ground to the same source, and it didn't like me. So all right, it shoved in there nice. On the bigger pumps, the wires are bigger. I'm sorry. The 3000, 3700, 3000 and the 4000, the wire's a little bigger. It's a little harder to do. These smaller pumps, 2000 and down, pretty easy. All right, so I got this in here, and it just doesn't pull out, so it's not like loose. All right, so this, of course, goes on your adapter for your power supply, and we'll unwind this because I need to reach my plug-in, and undo this one also. All right, so we're gonna put this guy, turn it off. We're gonna put this guy in the agua, the water. And I know that I have put this in the water and it hasn't done anything, but I don't know if that's quite smart to do. I would keep your connector out of the water. That would be my guess. Hopefully we don't soak Randy. You ready, Randy? Randy's over here working, so hopefully we don't soak him. I got this plug-in above me here, and we're going to turn that guy on. There we go. Now, another thing is how these bilge pumps work. I'm sitting here holding on to this. Gonna see how fast, if we've had people say, hey, this thing's heating up, and we've had some people say that, hey, I hooked this up, it heats up, this is a problem. This thing should not heat up instantly. It isn't heating up instantly. It isn't gonna fry in a matter of seconds. We know we buy these in bulk, and every once in a while there's a bad one. We're gonna replace like one that, you do it. But as you can see, I successfully, very easily hooked up these two wires. This pump, it's running, and this thing is not heating up. And no heat, nothing. Pump's running full blast. Now, we know with a bilge pump, it's got an open impeller in the bottom. It can't build up pressure. So that means if I put a valve on it and cut it down, it doesn't hurt the pump. The pump runs at the same speed. It doesn't work harder. The pump won't overheat because this guy here is on there, and it's in some cool water, so because it lets the pressure out the bottom. This guy here is controlling the speed actually by the volts. So, and it still is the right unit for this pump which is a 10 amp unit. So we got enough amps, so we won't fry the motor from too little amps, but we are controlling it by the volts. And that will drain with your battery, but your battery's got to have, if it's a battery, you can't do this, but the wall, it's got to have the right amount of amps, because the pump always needs the correct amount of amps to run at a cool, efficient, and not burn up speed. A little bit too much amps, you can pop a fuse if it has a fuse in there. This one has a small fuse in it. I think is at 15 amps, so we got a 10 amp controller, so we're not going to pop the fuse. And it runs at, and I think the minimal amps it says it's supposed to run as 10 amps, so 10 we match. So here we are, we've been running for a while, I've been going blah, 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 and this guy is not even warm. So actually we're doing pretty good. So I think a lot of times, and if I wanted to fry this controller, I would not break out my little spectacles with the bifocals and see which one of these is really hard to read is negative and positive, and I'd switch these around, and this sucker would heat up, because that pump can't run that way. It actually won't run in reverse and start running the wrong direction with the propeller. It will just start, it has issues. I'm not an electrician. I don't know what that's called. Maybe I should read a book. But, you know, if we keep it easy cheesy and hook up the right ones, we see we're still good. No heat. I mean, nothing. Not even a hint of heat. I mean, I can put this thing even against my face. You know, there's a little, with my face, I can feel a little warmth. Not so much with my hard-worked, calloused hands. That's a joke. I sit behind a computer desk all day. I got soft hands. So anyways, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. All right, guys. So when you hook up your pumps, make sure you take a little bit of time, do that correctly. If you have a problem, let us know. But we have tested all these in the beginning to make sure that we have a product that we can send out, that we can order in bulk. We don't have a stack of complaints piling up. Our return rate on these are about 1%, and we've shipped out thousands. So we do have some that are goofed up. We had one where the knob wasn't holding on, and we replaced that one too. You know, stuff happens. Pumps are doing pretty good too. The pumps seem to run pretty good. This may be embarrassing, guys, but this can be hooked up backwards, and you can fry your pump and fry your controller. And I know that those are hard to see, but positive. There's a little plus symbol there. There's a little negative symbol. You know, it's there. We got to pay attention to that. And then our pumps and our controllers, they do a good job. Full blast still. I'm feeling actually a little warmth with my hand now. But that warmth is normal, because there's components in there, heat sinks, and it's got the little louver vents to let the heat out. That's what that's all about. It will get a little warm. It's not good. And if you don't want to set this out in the sunshine and let it fry, because then it would overheat it. But anyways, doing good. All right, that's enough of that video. Got it done in one take. All right, you guys, any other questions about these heat sinks? I'm going to start sending this video out to people who are having, anybody that says, how do I hook this up? And it'll also help them get past of seeing any kind of hooking it up incorrectly, have any troubles, and I'll start using this video to send out to people, how do I hook this up? Because I hate to say it, and no, I'm not an electrician either, but a lot of people say, hey, I got this and this, how do these go together? Well, this is just if I want to not use this. And that's all that's for. We just provide them so if someone just wants to use the pump right to the battery, or they want to use this in their garage. All right, guys, have a good one.